2017 when we started, and he's none other than Mr. Thompson Chua. Thompson, you're welcome to the show.
Hi, Yao. Thank you.
It's always great to have you back. It's always
Thanks,
great
Yao.
to have you back.
And good afternoon to the listeners out there.
Yeah, I'm sure they're excited to have you back as well. So people have businesses and then they talk about, I want my business to grow. You know, you hear all these things about marketing, branding, human resource, customer service. You hear things about what the law says. Depending on the industry in which you are, you hear things about what your regulator has to say, the workplace dynamics. We've just recently had a session on health and safety, your personal well-being, even as an employee of a company or as an owner, of a company. What are your concerns regarding your health and safety of your workers? Because all of these things come back to the bottom line, and they affect the bottom line one way or the other. But we're going back to that discussion because you see, we are so passionate about our businesses here in Ghana. And one of the only ways which we can help our growth as a people, as a nation, as an economy, as a country, is to keep making information available. Everything else will follow, but to keep making information available. And so that's why we're back here today having this discussion on how do I grow my business? I've heard about many theories, but today we're going to look at when you have a business, what are the changes you can make to that same business? And the word change here, I map it straight to the word innovation. Because sometimes when we talk about innovation, people think that all of innovation is technology. And I say a good afternoon to my friend from CEO of Rancard, Mr. Dadzi. He'll tell you that innovation is not all technology. And there's this big argument about technology. You know, when we had the pre-show briefing, you did mention that you were going to talk about technology as well.
Yes.
And it's addition or otherwise.
Yes.
As a business. So it's going to be a really exciting show. It's going to be a packed show. We will be putting the phone lines out at some point. We want you to be able to pick up that phone, give us a call. But even ahead of that, you can send your comments to us, your questions to us on 0244-340-437. This is Masterclass here on the Superstation. Don't touch that dial. We're going to be discussing growth in your business through innovation. So Thompson, let's go straight to it because I want to get as much from you as possible. People do different things, but what do you have for us today? What can we do differently in our businesses, in our sole proprietorships? I have a business. I supply sugar. I'm a distributor. I take milk from Nestle, from Unilever, and I supply to people down the chain, to schools, to shops, to retailers. What can I do differently in my business? You know, I sell spare parts at Abosoka. My name is Kofi Mensah, and I get my spare parts from Germany, so I deal in German cars. I have a shop full of spare parts. What can I do differently in my business to ensure that my business grows?
Thank you, Yao, and very important question. And you've touched on a group of people that contribute as much as 70 to 75% of the GDP of Ghana. SMEs, entrepreneurs, small business owners. And what I would like to share with them today is that they have a business model. They may not understand it, they may not appreciate it, but they have a business model. Let me start with reminding us about what a business model is. A business model simply describes the rationale or how, the common sense, the method by which you as a business owner create, deliver value to your customer, and then you capture that value back to yourself in terms of money, in real terms. That's a business model. So everybody who is involved in business typically is creating value. They're giving it to the customer, and they're taking value back in terms of cash. Okay? But some people haven't taken out time, sadly, to really understand or appreciate this. They don't have defined business models. They don't have well-designed business models. Now, let me give you a very good example. Everywhere you go to in Ghana, you will see petrol stations, right? But from somebody who has worked in the industry, there was a time where to place an order as a dealer, you have to walk, or if you like, drive to the oil marketing company's premises and place your order face to face, even when technology as simple as emails existed. So what you had was lost time, a slower process, and inefficiencies, right? Despite the fact that there was technology that could have helped them improve their business. Now, I can tell you from the customer's point of view, you've caused me to lose time, and I have to leave my station. And often when I do that, some fraudulent individuals can have their way Often when I do that, I can't spend time on customer service. So by not actually changing your business model, by not defining it very well, you have a lot of untapped value in companies, in businesses. And that value, who are you denying of that value? Your customers. And that's why your business is not growing, because there's still a lot of value in there. And that's why you're having weak growth, because you're spending too much energy and effort doing things that if you just tweak your business model a little bit, if you change some processes, some procedures, if you have different conversations, a lot of things will go better. Your customers are not getting the best from you. Why? Because your business model isn't the best. So one takeaway straight away is most are looking for innovation externally or from the outside when they can achieve positive and profitable innovation right there in their own businesses. So let me talk about a very important word, and that word is context. It's the most fundamental question you can ask yourself. What is my own business context? A lot of people are operating in Accra, doing business in Accra, but not all of you are in the same industry. So, okay, he's in the same industry as me. We all sell refined water, bottled water, but he may not be in the same niche as you. Okay, he's in the same niche as me, but he doesn't have your cash flow problems. He doesn't have your staff issues. Your context is different. So the first step for you is to understand your context. When you understand your context very, very well, then you can start to change your business. But unfortunately, you see it even in WAEC exam halls, copy and paste. And you see it a lot in business. Jack has started pure water business. I will start pure water business. We are of the habit of just copying what others are doing, but we don't factor that my business is slightly different. And because of that, you don't see growth, because you're trying to do what somebody else is doing. But your business demands a special attention because it has its own context. And you have your own customers. Your customers have been complaining about certain things, but you are copying what Jack down the road is doing. And you wonder, why aren't my customers responding? Because context governs innovation, context governs everything. So first and foremost, the first tip I have for people today is you need to sit down and ask yourself, what is special about my business? What is different about my business? Once you start to answer those questions, you can now start to innovate. Let's go to technology. Nowadays, everybody wants to go online. Everybody wants to launch an app because they think technology is a quick fix. So let me tell you a story. Somebody is on Instagram and is talking with a merchant and says, oh, wow, I like this. So this merchant has gone on Instagram and somebody's responding. Says, can I have the price for this? And the person says, please send me a special text message. And the customer responds and goes on Twitter and says, isn't this funny? You're on Instagram and Marketing 101 says, publish your prices. And you're asking me to send you a private message. So this person is using technology wrongly. And what has happened? Technology has exposed this person's poor services to a wider audience. So most people do not understand that poor service, whether online or offline, is still poor service. That's why you're not experiencing growth despite the money you have spent on technology. Mind you, Instagram is free. Facebook is free. And before you know it, they will tell you, oh, social media doesn't work. All these Facebook stories, they are all stories, they don't work. But great business models plus the right technology are a great mix for solid growth in any business. But again, remember that word I used earlier, context. It's so important. Now let's actually start talking about business model in a little bit of a technical way. You remember, if anyone has listened to me before, you have your internal operations. You have your key partners, you have your key activities, and you have your key resources. So let me use my tailor as an example now. So my tailor is doing a great job. He sells a lot of nice stuff. All right. But guess what? He's not on Instagram. And we're like, you are denying yourself a wider audience. So one key activity he can immediately start to do, and mind you, for free, to start to get a wider market share, is to put all his beautiful works on Instagram. That's technology, by the way, but right use of technology. So because his key activity is not right, he's suffering lack of growth. Now, somebody is like, for a bigger firm, let's not talk about just tailors. For a bigger firm now, you may need a key partner like a digital marketing agency to help you with your social media campaign. So these are areas that you can start to make slight changes to your business. What about how you treat your customers? So let's go to the customer relationships. You'll always make your customer come to you to come and do what? Place an order. What if you simply took a picture of what you had and then you WhatsApped all those things to your customer for your customer to see? And then the customer can make a choice. You're using WhatsApp, which is available to everybody. But guess what some people would do? Unfortunately, it is penny wise and, as they say, pound foolish. They don't want to spend money on a smartphone. They want to use the normal Nokia 3310 type phones, and they can't do that. So you need to invest a little bit more, spend that 200 to 400 CDs on a smartphone that allows you to be able to even use WhatsApp and engage your customers. What you have for me today, take the pictures, you send it across. And now you're relating with your customers on a better note. Now, if you watch, I'm talking about different blocks in the business model. If you sit down and look at how you're operating from a business model perspective, you can start to innovate. You can start to do things differently. It's interesting, that have you ever gone to some retail shops, especially fast food joints? They would ask you for your details. Oh, your name. Let's register some of these retail clothes shops, the bigger ones. They'll ask you for your name. They'll ask you for your phone number. Yeah, it's happened to me. But what are they doing with that information? Very little, if anything. But in that information, there's a key activity they can start, which is they can start to churn the data and find out who is buying from us. Where do these people live in Accra typically who buy from us? That can change their whole marketing strategy. That can allow them run better campaigns. You know, the Registrar General Office, when those of us that go and do our returns from our businesses, as we finished, you just get an SMS. You are at this stage in the process. That's the use of technology to enhance your engagement with your clients. But some people are collecting the information and they're not using the information. And that's part of the reason why there's lack of growth and they're not winning with customers. So second takeaway, most business models are rich sources of fast and profitable innovation, which can be used to wow customers. The question is this: are we going to stop trying to just make money and actually start trying to make customers' lives more valuable, make customers' lives a lot better by making some changes in our businesses? And at the end of that, the money is still going to come in because business models create, deliver, and capture value back. Quick last point on future focus. Future focus. Somebody said this: you can't change your life overnight, but overnight you can change your direction. Let me say that again for our listeners. You can't change your life overnight, but overnight you can change your direction. The truth is, you're not going to change your business overnight, but you can start to change one aspect of your business today, another aspect of your business tomorrow, all thinking about the future. Now, today, everybody uses star, this, hash. They use it in insurance, they use it in banking, and in so many areas. But I can tell you the best companies don't rush change. Let me use a name that all of us know too well, Amazon. If you remember many years ago, yeah, Amazon was just a book company that we just bought books off Amazon, nothing more. But today, Amazon can deliver anything to us, including groceries. But they didn't change overnight. They have a fleet of aeroplanes now. They don't have to rely on FedEx and the like. They now have their own fleet of aeroplanes. You don't have a fleet of aeroplanes overnight. But they change their direction every day. And every day now, and every day, every year, they are wowing customers. So they kept on adding and adding, changing their business model, innovating. So what people need to understand is that your success of today, a great business model of today, is not what is going to cause you to win in the next 5 years. Let's remember that we are changing at a rapid rate now. Technology is changing things. Let's look at the banks. The other day I was at a bank along Spintex, and I happened to jam into the HR manager, HR director of the bank there, and he said, "Oh no, we're not open today." I was like, so you guys don't open here any longer. Why? Because of technology. A lot of what we've been doing face-to-face has moved online.
Digital.
Right? So a key lesson is that we need to start to build new capabilities into our business models for tomorrow, to win tomorrow. And businesses that are not doing that, and let me tell you the reason why they're not doing that straight away. Because they're already making money today. Oh, we don't. And when you say, oh, I have, an employee says to the CEO, I have this great idea. If we start doing this in the next 18, 24 months, we'll win in the market. And the MD looks at his bottom line and says, no. In his head, that's going to cost too much. Some say it out loud, that's going to cost too much. So what do? They shelve that idea. So they don't innovate their business model for tomorrow. And unfortunately, competition comes in with that idea. Because guess what? No CEO is the smartest one in the room. We're all smart. The fact that you could come up with that idea, somebody somewhere else in Accra is most likely thinking of something similar. Amazon ran at losses for years. But today, they're one of the only two companies in the world that are valued at $1 trillion. Now that's massive. And that's huge. So success happens when business models are deliberately innovated to wow customers. But it takes time and it takes money. The question is, are people willing to invest? Are people willing to invest?
Wow. Such very golden thoughts there. I mean, a few things, just, sat with me strongly when you were talking. And I suppose I've just come up with my own quote right now. There was a quote you talked about that you cannot change your life overnight, but you can change your direction overnight.
Yes.
I mean, I have also just, come up with one. It's not just for the sake of it, but I'm just thinking that example you gave about the CEO or the manager or the business owner who would look at their returns today and so then refuse to take a risk for tomorrow, building capabilities. What they've just done is that they've looked at what they have today and out of risk aversion or whatever other reason they have chosen against tomorrow. They've made a decision against tomorrow. Now they don't feel it today because the effect is latent. It's going to take some time to kick in. Mm-hmm. But I think it's a strong point that we should, I'm going to give you a few more minutes just to hit that point home that business in itself is risk, isn't it? I mean, everything in life is risk, really.
Yeah.
But we're talking about business. There's a lot of risk involved. You've taken that first step and you've committed those first resources and you've jumped. Now, people need information to be able to do the right thing. So here's what we're doing here today. We're saying to you that having jumped, also have this additional knowledge that you should begin to build capabilities for the future, just like you said.
Exactly.
And don't just look at what you have today and say, it's fine. Because whenever people make that decision and say, oh, it's fine, we don't need to do that, they're actually afraid that they're going to lose what it is that they have now. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, we have this proverb that says, "What? Oh, a bird in hand is what is worth two
More than two in the bush.
I mean, I'm going to come back to you shortly, but I want to be able to open the phone lines, and then we can have our listeners also join us. If you want to send us a comment, you can do that on 02443404437. This is Masterclass here on your Superstation. We're here in the studios with Thompson Chua, business consultant, and we're discussing growing your business through innovation. We'll be opening the phone lines right after this.
The masterclass is in session, and you can interact with us via Facebook at Joy Business or at Joy 99.7 FM. And if you tweet, the handle is at Joy 997 FM. Don't forget to hashtag masterclass. You can also send us a text on 1422 across all networks, or join the WhatsApp conversation on 0244 340437, and our facilitators will address your concerns. Attention, everyone. Class is in progress.
Right, if you're just tuned in, you're welcome to Masterclass here on your Super Station. And we're here in the studio with Thompson Chua discussing growing your business through innovation. And when we say innovation, we're not even talking about technology alone. So if you have any vehicle of any kind, here's a special message for you. Goil's new Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes are the best engine oils for your vehicle. These are specially engineered engine oils which efficiently work on all modern petrol and diesel engines. What do? They clean, they protect, they reduce fuel consumption, they prolong oil change intervals, and they also enhance your engine performance right from when you start up to when you switch off. So go to any Goil filling station today and grab the new Goil Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 engine oils for a superior vehicle performance. Goil, they say good energy. Goil, Yenara, Yendia. So I'd like to open the phone line straight away. Numbers to call 0302 216 541. That's 0302 216 541. Pick up that phone, give us a call. What business do you have first of all? What have you done, one step or two steps that you can consider innovation, and share with us? Because I always say that life is too short to make all the mistakes yourself. And we're benchmarking here. If you have not also made any changes, give us a call. Let's share comments, let's share thoughts. And if you want to send us a comment also, you can do that on 02443404437. Otherwise, you can give us a call on 0302 216 541. So, Thompson, just in about 30 seconds, let's drum home that point, and then you tell us about your workshop.
All right.
And then, the calls come through, we'll take them. Otherwise, we continue with that discussion. All right. So, how can people prepare for tomorrow today? How can people look at the $1 million or 10 million CDs they have as turnover, for today, and make a wild decision that I'm going to spend $200,000 for an innovation whose effect I will see in 2 years?
Okay. Yeah, first and foremost, to be sincere, you have to love customers. You just have to love customers to be able to make such an investment. Secondly, you have to be smart to make such an investment. Why do I say smart? Because you can do the math and you know that this is going to pay off. The truth about it is, we are, how do I put this? We are so stuck in making money today. In Nigeria, you have Nigerians. In Ghana, you have Ghanaians. Next door, you have Togolese. But we all behave like Russians. And I don't know why. And that's the reason you see this rush to sell. Now, I made a call, me and a lady, to make a complaint to a tissue paper manufacturer here in Accra. And you know what he was trying to do without addressing the complaint we were making? He was trying to sell more to us. And when we got off the phone, we were shocked. Rather than actually apologizing and taking time to talk about the complaint, right? He was trying to sell more. Oh, how much do you buy in a month? And we can do direct delivery to you. That's the
somebody sold that lie to them.
That is the mentality, unfortunately. We are trying to make money. We are not trying to add value to people. And that's why business models are weak. That's why business models are not working. Right? Let me give you an idea before okay, go ahead.
I want to hear this point we just made.
Okay.
We're trying to make money. We're not trying to add value to people. Some people may be confused by that statement. I understand it clearly. And you have said it here on the show before. When you add value to people, you will make money anyway.
Clearly.
Isn't it?
Yes.
So the focus, you shouldn't go out there saying, of course, everybody wants to make money. You should want to make money, but don't go out there with a sole focus and purpose to just make money. Because if that's the first and the customer becomes second, you overlook certain things, isn't it?
Exactly. And let me make it so simple.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anybody, and ask yourself whether you are that unwise, do you just take money out of your pocket and give it to somebody without getting value back?
No way.
So the first thing you need to do is impress the person, to wow the person. It's not about making a sale first and foremost. It's about getting the person to see the value you're bringing to them. But we don't take time to do that. Now, on that note, this is how you work for the future. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch what people really want. And then,
Really want.
exactly, let me take a simple one, housing. Every housing advert you see today in Accra is luxurious housing. Luxurious housing. But can everybody afford luxurious housing? The answer to that is no.
It's very strong.
It means that there is a strong market for low-cost housing. Who's going to take time? We're all going to China to import this and do that. Who's going to take time to go and find low-cost housing technology somewhere? China has 1 billion plus people, near 2 billion people. They must have low-cost housing solutions.
Yeah.
Who's going to take time to find that type of solution and come and invest it in Ghana and not in Accra? Not in Accra. There are places that you can do this and people will
You can go
buy
to the
it.
coast, you can go to Techiman, you can go, rest of
Exactly.
the country.
Exactly. Look, I've shared this idea to so many people.
I have a feeling somebody has just heard us on radio and will come and testify. You just give them a brilliant business idea.
It's a simple idea.
And it's about finding what people need. That's
Exactly.
the point that you're making. What do people need?
And that's what you invest in. That's how Amazon has become $1 trillion company today. Sorry, nobody should take that to mean that they're going to become $1 trillion company. No. You may not even be $1 million company, but you're going to have a business that turns around and grows round the clock because you're doing the most important thing. You are listening to the customer.
And just to end that because I'm going to move on to context very quickly.
Okay.
Once you keep the customer at heart, like you're saying, and you want to make them better, add value to them, what you're doing is that people will always have needs. So once you plug into that and you are in sync with them, you will always make sure that you are prepared to meet that need.
Exactly.
People will always pay for convenience. They pay for whatever it is. Now people want to sit in their homes and do everything on their phone. People who sell that kind of service are making sure that it's available to them. And that's what you were talking about, putting your product on social media. I don't want to get up and walk in the sun just to go and look at 5 shops because I want to buy one shirt. I want to be able to sit at home and make a good choice. And if it's possible, have that shirt delivered to me. People deliver fast food today. So I sit in my home, I'm watching Game of Thrones, whatever, and I want to be able to sit there and pick up the phone, and in 15 minutes, somebody knocks my door and say, here's the, I was going to mention some local product, but here's the whatever you asked for, and it's here. So you're saying that adding value to your business, if you understand what the customer needs and you plug in, you position yourself as an entrepreneur to do that.
Exactly.
Let's talk about context. Because it's one of the things that I think is missing, in our Ghanaian entrepreneurship space today. And while we're doing that, this is Masterclass. You can pick up the phone, give us a call on 0302-216-541. That's 0302-216-541. We're talking about making your businesses better or growing your businesses through innovation. When we say innovation, what are the little things that you can do to make sure that your business is different and is fit for purpose and it's be able to increase and grow? We're sharing those thoughts here on the show. Give us a call, 0302-216-541. Otherwise, you can also send us a comment or a question or a contribution on 0244-340-437. Let's talk about context. I think that there's a lot of copying in our business space today. And that's because people are not original anymore. I don't know whether the difficulty is that they cannot of their own come up with their own ideas. I think that I think Ghanaians are really ingenious people. They can come up with their own ideas, but there's a laziness in there that has sort of crept in. And so I see that Thompson sells tomato. I also want to sell tomato because he seems to be doing well. But I don't understand Thompson's context. And his context, for example, maybe, who's he selling to? What are their needs? Is he selling to secondary schools? Maybe all he does is sell to secondary schools. And that's all he does. And he's moving 50 crates a week, 100 crates a week. I go and buy the same number of crates. I don't know who his target market is. I've lost out on what his peculiar context is. And that's the point you're making, that everybody has a different context. What's
Exactly.
the capital available to you? Who are you selling to? Why are you doing it in the first place? What's the fire in your belly about it? So let's talk a bit more about context so that people can begin to understand that I'm not doing this because Kofi Mensah is also doing it. And that's why Kofi Mensah is succeeding and I'm not. Because maybe Kofi Mensah is a wholesaler of the product. So he goes and buys it, and in 2 weeks it's gone, because when he comes, he's got people lined up to take it. So he gets those orders before he moves. I don't. I go and get 2 containers just like Kofi Mensah. I bring it, I'm thinking I'm waiting for somebody to come and buy it. It'll take forever. You know, so let's share some more ideas on that context bit, just so that our listeners can appreciate it a bit more.
Let me try and make this a little bit personal. Not personal as per me, but try and get people to look at themselves. How often do we actually look at ourselves in the mirror and try and appreciate where we are in life? How often do people do self-evaluation? Not a lot. Some people wait till the period called New Year's resolutions. There's very little of that happening. And you see, the way you treat yourself is the way you tend to treat a lot of things, including business. So at the ending of the day, there is no evaluation of the business. What's really happening in my business? Secondly, what you find for a lot of people is there's desperation. I need to make money. And look, I totally empathize. We all have pockets. We all have bank accounts. We've all seen the bank account reach like 1 Peswell level, right? So I empathize with that. But the but there is this. If we cannot find a way to be bigger than that, to come out of that and ask ourselves the right questions about our business, then we will not get the right answers. The truth is this. A fashion designer who, and I'll go back to this example because I think it's a strong example, who needs a smartphone to share beautiful designs on his WhatsApp status, on his Instagram page, on his Facebook page, right? This person who needs to spend maybe $5 every week just boosting maybe his Facebook page so he gets a wider audience in Accra, who doesn't want to invest in that smartphone, a minimal smartphone, because, man, that 200 CDs, no, it's too much. He has effectively denied his own context. He has denied it. He doesn't want to, how do I put it, accept that this is my context, this is what I need to do to move forward. And unfortunately, when he does that, his business is not going to grow. And you see, it's sometimes, it's difficult to talk about context. Why? Because I need to be talking to you about your context. When you start to talk to me about your context, I start to understand it, I start to appreciate it, and then immediately I can start to advise you on the things and the changes you need to make. If not, for a lot of our listeners, they'll be like, okay, he's talking about the fashion designer. I sell cement. I sell this.
It doesn't apply to me.
No, but you see, that's the mistake he has made. A lot of people on Facebook are building houses. So if I put a post on Facebook concerning the dangers of buying fake cement in your construction, and I boost that post to maybe 10,000 people, which could cost me 100 CDs to do in dollar terms, right? I'll be surprised that 1 or 2 response like, I'm building my house. I bought the cement. Am I using the right cement? And you have started to, or you've given yourself an opportunity to win a customer. So again, I go back and we're talking about context. It's a full picture. Once you understand your full picture, you can change your picture. And you can improve it.
You can improve it. I've got Kwame Doji from the USA. Kwame says, many Ghanaian businesses only think about making money, but they don't think about creating a good relationship with the customer. a seamstress can call her customers just to relate. They said, well, just to relate to it when she's losing the client or not heard from the client for a very long time. And she'll be surprised that out of that process, she gets a contract. So, I mean, I suppose the point he's making is that you don't only call the customer when it's time to pick up or when, you need something, but occasionally you can just call to check on them.
Of course.
I mean, some institutions in this country, in the finance industry, started calling customers and sending them birthday checks and things like that. Because you find that when a happy customer is a spending customer. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a whole discussion about it. But if people begin to think, these guys call me on a Sunday, they work on Sunday, why do they call me? Of all the customers they have, wow, they must be thinking about me. Maybe they're not even thinking about you. Maybe it's just something they're doing. But at the end of the day, it endears you to them, doesn't it? So I suppose the point he's making is that think about your customer. He's rehashing the point that you made.
Exactly.
And when you think about the customer, then from there, you can begin to look at different ways of helping them out. Let me just ask this last one before we run out. We're talking about technology and putting your business out there, but I suppose we've had a lot of discussions on technology. So let's talk about structuring your business. What are some key examples? Just very small tidbits, maybe in about some 1 or 2 minutes, that people can do. Little things, straight to the point, little things that they can do. We talk about training your staff in dealing with your customers. So, for example, if your frontline staff are not trained to be pleasant when they're dealing with people, that's one of the things that you can do. We also spoke on the show about having knowledge and information. So you don't want a dummy at your front, in quote, in your front office. People call and they ask questions, and the first answer is, I don't know.
An interesting answer.
I don't know. So if you don't know, what are you doing there? So those for me are 2 examples. But you are in the field. You interface a lot of people. What are some of the practical things that people can do in restructuring their business currently to add more value and help them to grow?
One, I would say put in place a system where you can actually listen more to the customer. Put in place a system to listen more to the customer. Now, the simplest system is be at your business. A lot of business owners are absentee business owners. Be at your business. Get a feel for what the customer is saying and what the customer wants. When you collect information and collect data about your customers, right? You can even send a WhatsApp message and simply say, hi, how are you? What could we do better? Listen to the customer. Put in place a system to listen to the customer. Secondly, most of us are selling things. All right? But we don't have a good restocking system in place. And because of that, there's discontent. Your customer comes. He doesn't see it. He sees it tomorrow. He has to go elsewhere. So you're allowing your customer to go elsewhere.
Lack of consistency, product availability.
Exactly.
I have it today, I don't have it tomorrow. I have it today, I don't have
Put
it
in place a simple system for that. I have I like eating whole wheat bread. Every Thursday, they send a message around the clock. Please place your orders against Friday, because somehow, I don't know whether people eat a lot more bread over the weekend, but
everybody's home over the weekend.
Exactly. So they always send a message, place your order on Friday. And I've been there to pick up my order, and somebody has come in to buy, and it's like, okay, we just have this quantity. All the rest are for people who have placed orders. So you see, they've put in place a system. And you know what's interesting? It means they will not overproduce.
There'll be no waste to control waste also.
Exactly. So,
but what's intriguing for me is that the example you just gave, apart from the fact that there's no waste and they won't overproduce, they also have made accommodation for the occasional customer who will walk in.
Yes.
And so they'll give you just enough, not exactly what you want, but just enough to make you want to come back. And
exactly.
And again, for me, that's the structuring that you're talking about. I got okay, I didn't get your full name. This is Saint PDM. Okay, I would have wanted you to add your full name. It says, ask your guest, are there any 3 key solutions to help deal with the pull him down syndrome that's coming up in Ghana? That has come up strongly in some of the discussions we've had. The Ghana CEO Summit, that came up very strongly. most Ghanaian businesses are afraid, or should I say, do not expand beyond Ghana for many reasons, one of which is the fact that they're afraid to collaborate with fellow Ghanaians.